This guy is an American success story, and he does for this country what I was talking about earlier about crashing through the glass ceilings.
Know this, introducing the original Blood Clot podcast, not PS. Soothing semantic, special dedication, all the way from New York. Boom! Yeah man, SWOT semantic. Yeah me know. Boom! Soothing semantic. Yeah me know. Big ups to the man now. Soothing semantic.
All right, on another episode of Soothing Semantics, I am your host, Rafi Pinsky. Subscribe. If you're a fan, no reason you shouldn't give me some love. I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, smash that like button. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very interesting guest. How's it going, Adriano?
I'm great. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you having me on, and thank you for your time.
Appreciate you coming, man.
Yes, sir.
So Adriano was doing security for Khalila, Muhammad Ali's former wife, who I had on quite recently. And Adriano and I were talking, and he had a very interesting story himself.
Yes.
So I couldn't help but get him on the podcast. So go into a little bit with us how you started security, how you went from maybe just doing standard security to working with celebrities, because it's not something that everyone gets to do.
Right. So I was very fortunate and blessed to start in the field so young. I started doing security at 17 down in Ocean City, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore. My first experience was the Do Tour. It was a major BMX and concert venue, and just right away, it's one of those things like it hits you right away. It's like, this is what's meant for me. Like, this is not just a moment where I'm going to work and make a paycheck. It's a lifelong thing that I'm going to do. So I was truly blessed to discover it was my passion, purpose, and true divine calling in life. And that's important that we discover that. And, then from there, just continued to, train martial arts and get as many certifications and training that I could in the security realm. And 2 years later, I found myself at 19, still very young, not much training outside of just the security and martial arts background that I had.
What martial arts have you done?
I trained 3 major forms, American Kempo, Taekwondo, and Budo Taijutsu. I was a 3-time national champion, and I've trained martial arts for 15 years, so since I was very young. And, I've done sparring, weaponry forms, pretty much anything you could imagine inside the arts, and have traveled doing a lot of tournaments and competitions. So my first Bodyguard experience was 19, and that was with Vinny Guadagnino from the hit show on MTV Jersey Shore. So that was an experience.
Okay, I know who Vinny is. You know what's funny? Some people say we look alike.
Wow.
Yeah, you might not agree, but I've gotten it a few times.
Right. And just from there, it was taking an opportunity and making the most of it. Every summer he would come down to Ocean City, Maryland, just looking after him and his entourage, when they would go out at the hotel, dinners, various other things that they would do. And eventually I found myself in New York, in the tri-state area, in New York and New Jersey. Still was very young. And I connected there with Swift On Demand. Swift he was on Love and Hip Hop, New York, and he's notoriously known for producing Cardi B and kind of launching her career.
Wow.
So I met him, and within 10 minutes of meeting him, he's like, I want you to be my head of security. I want you to run the music studio, things of that nature, and it just took off. Before you know it, I was around the Cardi B's, the Love and Hip Hop people, Safari, Spice, all these big names. I think it's AOJ or something similar to that. Just a lot of big names that were involved in the music studio and around Swift. And, that was when he just was coming off of Love and Hip Hop. And he was producing for a lot of people, and that was when, he was around Cardi B when she was, getting her roll to fame and it kind of exploding in the music industry. And kind of the rest is just history, really just continued every day to grow as a person, to grow in my training. You have to have that constant state for involvement in every area in life, in your integrity and your characteristics and your faith. Like every day you just have to have the obsession for greatness. We all have greatness within us. You do, I do. Everybody listening to this podcast that will come across this podcast, from, the young kings and queens to, people that are, elders respectfully. We have that in us. We have greatness in us. Just you have to find that within you and discover it, and just pursue your dreams in life, and anything is possible. I come from a small town. I was born in Hanover, Pennsylvania, grew up in Ocean City, Maryland, and have gone on now to Bodyguard, for the Ali name, the 9/11 Memorial commemoration in New York City, with names like Mike Bloomberg, Bill de Blasio, police commissioners, just with the most. There's really not a bigger event as far as risk factors. Super Bowl 54 in Miami, I was responsible for festivities, the Super Bowl, things leading up to the Super Bowl.
I have a ton of questions already, man.
Oh yes, so just from artists to producers to you pretty much name it. New York Fashion Week, Met Gala, a lot of big things and big happenings. And, I have access now to a network, a realm of people, an umbrella of people all across the nation, from Florida to New York to California, Vegas, pretty much wherever you need somebody, we can get them, have access to armored vehicles, luxury armored vehicles, with, pretty much the same capabilities and features as the Secret Service. And, just it really boils down to, I get to that level through a strong faith, hard work, sacrifice, and money spends once, but knowledge and connections monetize forever. So what that means to somebody that maybe never heard of that, we can go into the gas station and spend $20 on pump 2. We can't go back in there and say, hey, I want that $20 back. I need it for something else. It doesn't work like that. So when you have knowledge and connections, even if you've lost the money, you're always going to get it back, because you have the knowledge, you have the information, and you have the connections to do so.
It's a very, very valid point.
Absolutely.
So basically, okay, so a few things. First off, who are some of the really big names that you've already mentioned a bunch,
yes,
but who are some like notable names that you've been with?
Yes.
Let's start with that.
Yes. So Vinny from Jersey Shore, Kendra Luss, Jocelyn James, Dr. Khalila Camacho Ali, obviously. That's how we get connected. Former wife of Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali's children, Muhammad Ali Jr., Super Bowl 54, 9/11 memorial commemoration in New York City, billionaires, top attorneys, real leaders, dignitaries, mayors, the list goes on and on. Music producers, Reezy Renegade, business executives, estate details, where we're protecting a very wealthy piece of property, a very expensive piece of property. Some of the most high risk and high profile people in the world, and so on and so forth. Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone,
Oh,
the
really?
10X
You did
growth
security for them?
Yes.
I really, really want to get them on, man.
Yes.
I know that's a stretch,
Yes.
but what am I fucking saying? I will do it. It's a
Yes,
matter of
yes.
when. They get a lot of
Absolutely.
smoke. It's funny though. Grant Cardone gets a lot of
Right.
smoke. Like there's a lot of people who hate him. I don't, but that dude's next level, man.
He's a genius. He's a mastermind, and he understands.
He's right here in Aventura, by the way.
Yep. He built a strong team, and he understands the promotion, the marketing, and it's like say me and you create a toothbrush. If we promote that toothbrush enough, people are gonna start saying, "Hey, let's get that toothbrush. Let's try it out."
Like
so
with Khalila and the mask. It's a shame she didn't put the
Right.
mask. So yeah, you guys missed it, but Khalila she made this mask, and it's got like these lights. I'll show it. Do I have it with me? Yeah, let me see if I got it. If I got it, I should definitely.
right.
2,000 years later.
Maybe it does. Oh, no, it is on the side. You're right, man. Okay. So yeah. So you basically just switch.
according to your mood
Yeah, it's got the lights.
or your fashion trend.
It's hilarious. Get one of these, $30. How do people buy one of these things?
I'm not too sure,
I'll have
but
to ask Khalila.
yeah, just
She's such a character.
Yeah.
She's so full of life. It's
Oh, yeah.
amazing. She's so
Yeah.
sharp for someone at
Oh, yes.
70.
oh yeah,
And these days it's young, but she's so like.
yes,
Okay, so back to all the security. So in a very short span of time. So
Yes.
you're 26 now.
26.
Okay,
correct.
yeah, I'm 27. So you've accomplished a lot
Yes.
in such a short time, you know,
Yes.
and what I'm very impressed with, and I think, and I know, is a simple rule of life is when you know what your calling is, you go all in,
Yes.
and you're a lot more likely to get to much higher points in said thing
Yes.
much faster than your average person because you're all in.
Right.
So you got all the qualifications.
Yes.
You took martial arts. You made sure that you have the connections. You take your job very, very seriously.
Yes.
It's your dream. It's your passion. So I see it every day.
Yes.
When people do what they love to do,
Yes.
they're gonna get there much sooner because it's everything for them. So
Yes.
you did okay. So you mentioned the celebrities that you had.
Mhm.
I want to go into the bullying.
Yes. Yes. So I'm the chairman of Bodyguards Against Bullying, and what we are is we are a global personal safety and anti-bullying organization, and we're founded by Mason Haynes, who is an elite international A-list bodyguard. Has been to over 80 countries, has protected names from Prince to Elton John to the Kardashians to the Jenners, Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, the list goes on and on. He's had everybody. He's been on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, one of the most respected and one of the top leaders in the industry of the bodyguard realm. And just, we stand against bullying, abuse, persecution, and harassment in all its forms. And we've even gone to the extreme to, which I love this idea, and I'm really glad we did it. We donated services to youth victims of bullying that had been, habitually or seriously bullied. We gave them complimentary bodyguard services for an entire day. They got police escorts. They got the same treatment that a real leader or a A-list bodyguard would get.
So they're like at school and everything. They get body.
Well, this was in the summer, so they were out of school. But
Okay,
they
okay.
got to meet the mayor. They got to go to the mayor's office. Just a once in a lifetime
That's so
opportunity.
special, man.
And we didn't do it to intimidate or to do this big powerful thing, and we did it to be that positive leader in their life, that positive influence, and just give them that moment to show that people do care about them and their safety and their peace of mind, and just to give them some encouragement and give them some safety tips where we are blessed to excel in the field and have a lot of knowledge. We kind of try to just pass that down to them, how they can be safer, how they can de-escalate maybe a situation, how they can avoid a situation, because there's a big misconception in the bodyguard realm. It's that there's a couple. There's bigger is always better, and that's a big misconception because
By the way,
Yes.
real fast, I've learned that very, very much in Israel because, let's be real, Jews tend to not be such big people a lot of the
Yes,
time.
yes.
They're just not built that way. So plenty of them are not, But one thing I learned in the army was size does not matter.
No.
So it was funny saying that, but like
Yes.
when it comes to any kind of security, martial arts. Well, in martial arts, weight classes do make a difference, and don't get me wrong, it's if you're bigger, you may be stronger, but at the end of the day, it's all in here.
Oh yes.
It's all in here.
Oh yeah. I tell people all the time. I say your mind, your mouth, your ears, your eyes, and your heart. Those are your biggest weapons. It's not the muscle. It's not your martial arts. Now, granted, they help a lot. If you got the size, you got the training. But if you know how to outsmart somebody, if you know how to be 10 steps ahead, if you know how to have threat assessment, if you know how to be proactive, vigilant, know how to talk to somebody, because one word can either end a fight or it can start a fight.
So what happens? What are some stories that have happened to you with celebrities? Because this is definitely
Yes.
a question I'm sure people would
Yes.
want to know. what are some of the scenarios you've been in where maybe a fan tried to get too close, or someone even tried to get violent with a celebrity or anyone you've protected?
Yes.
What are things that you have done, and what are things that could come up that you would do? Like how to de-escalate something?
Everything you could think about, everything you think the police deal with on a scale, we deal with it on different levels. So stabbing, shootings, riots, stalkers.
Have you experienced that? Stalkers?
Everything.
So what happened?
Not for me personally, but yeah, for the client. Just it could be somebody could be stalking them on cyber. For they're constantly online. They're creating all these fake accounts and messaging them or harassing them, or it could be something as serious as they're jumping their home property over the fence, or following all their movements throughout the day, coming to nightclubs thinking that they're this person's partner, or just a lot of different crazy things. But there's always a chance for the what ifs or the worst case scenario, and boredom kills. As a bodyguard, you could be on a 18-hour detail, and if you get bored, or you start to shut down, or you think, okay, we're good. You always have to be in your mind playing out scenarios, scanning. If I'm driving in an SUV with a client, and we're in the bus lane, we're preparing to make a turn, and I see somebody, we're not near an airport, we're not near a hotel, and he's just randomly works his way into the bus lane, and he has a luggage like you would wheel around, like you would go to airport with, and he just leaves it there and he walks away. I know that there's erratically something wrong with that. It could be an IED, it could be a bomb, it could be anything. The guy could be an emotionally disturbed person, whatever it may be, and I know we need to immediately divert from that area. And that there's a threat being posed compared to the regular person that's driving. They're going to just drive right past it, and God forbid something were to happen. So you just have to be in that constant mindset, and never get too comfortable, never get too trustworthy about situations, and you just have to constantly just be ready at all times. Stay prepared so you don't have to get prepared, and stay alert and stay alive.
That's why it's so important. You have to love it.
Absolutely.
Because it's funny. I play a lot of these scenarios in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll go to supermarkets and I'll randomly play these ideas in my head. If I'm at like certain gatherings, I'll play scenarios in my head. It's very funny. I think about this a lot.
Yes.
And I'm always thinking, okay, most people aren't going to do anything. Most people are going to be the victims in the scenario. There are a couple of people that are going to act. Mm-hmm. What can I do preemptively? I'll come up with random things that can happen. How can I make sure that people are safe and things like that? Like I'll always think of these. Right. Do you mind sharing some like intense things that have happened?
Oh yeah. We've had vehicles following us at high rates of speed. We're with a client. We always make sure obviously we get this information prior to contact, or as we get to arrive at a location. Hey, is there any vehicles that are going to be following us? You have anybody else who's coming with us? If they say no, at that point anybody even if there is people they say, hey, it's going to follow us, we're still obviously always scanning the area, looking rear view mirrors, checking side mirrors, checking different things, different angles as we're driving the route. And usually you want to always plan the route. You don't just want to pick up a client, you're going somewhere. You want to map things out. Where's your nearest precincts? Where's your nearest hospitals? Because again, it's the moment you're not prepared that something goes down. That one time you don't prepare for something, you could every time for a whole year, and it could be quiet. And that next day you don't prepare, is something hits the fan, and just a lot of things like that. So we've had incidents of vehicles following us at high rates of speed where we had to make a lot of sudden movements, kill our headlights, like shut down all the vehicle lights, just trying to evade them, because you don't know who it is at the point. It could be someone that's going to do a drive-by shooting, someone that's going to run you off the road, whatever it may be. Again, we've been with the most high-risk, high-profile people in the world, some which I can't mention, obviously, because of confidentiality or non-disclosures, things of that nature, but we've had everybody. You pretty much name them or think of them. We've been around them, with them, assisted them. in some capacity. We do it all. We do club visits, days, hours. We do, people wanting us week to week, month to month, yearly. We have contracts that are, past years. They're 5 years and so on, with clientele living, different things, So, just, again, you name it, we pretty much dealt with it. Riots, like, in the clubs, things getting crazy, chairs being thrown, bottles being thrown. Just, again, you name it, we've dealt with it, just on different scales. So
That's scored a lot of people out in these clubs, I'm sure.
oh yes.
Wow, that's intense, man.
Yes.
Okay, so we mentioned the security, kind of how you got to where you went.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned the bullying.
Yes.
I know there was something else you wanted to talk about. Can you remind me?
So, also have a celebrity basketball game,
yeah.
and that raises awareness and proceeds for cancer and bullying. And it will be my first year doing it this summer, Saturday, August 28th of 2021. The tip-off will be at 5 p.m. It'll be at the Worcester County Recreation Center in Snow Hill, Maryland, in Worcester County. And, it's just going to be for an amazing cause, giving back to the community, and, again, for, cancer and bullying to make a big impact, as unfortunately so many people are affected by those two things. I think, you pretty much ask anybody around the world, and they either know of or have been directly impacted by one of those two things, if not both. Mm-hmm. And, so that's what we're looking to do. And we'll have David Meltzer there, Chef Andre Rush, who's a 3-term President White House chef, Jacoby Jones, Super Bowl champion, Kendra Luss, if I haven't mentioned her already, Drumbo Boy Fresh, who's an award-winning producer. He's produced for, everybody, Young Jeezy, Waka Flocka, you pretty much name him, T.I., he's produced for everybody, a legend in his realm. And we'll have Ravens players, Redskins players, Harlem Globetrotters, Bull Boyard.
I haven't seen the Harlem Globetrotters in ages.
Right. So we'll have Harlem Globetrotters players there. Bull Bullard is a 4-time, I believe it's 4-time Guinness World Record holder. 12 years with the Globetrotters. Too Tall, who's the world's first shortest Globetrotter. He made history, for his size and making it, to the Globetrotters. And the list really goes on and on. Officer Tommy Norman, who's like a viral community policing officer who has over 1 million followers online. And, a lot of other people. Will have some special guests as well that we'll announce. And we just hope to see everybody out there for an amazing cause. Yes.
That's awesome, man. That's incredible.
Yes.
You're doing big things. I really love the bullying thing.
Yes.
Like I'm very fortunate that didn't happen to me as a kid. Like I had a good childhood in that sense. But like some kids really have it have it bad. Like what are things a kid can do? I'm curious to hear what you think on both ends. What could a kid who gets terribly bullied, what could he do? Like I think martial arts is vital for kids. Like, when I have kids, I want them all to do it. Oh, yeah. Because if you're a smaller kid, or you're just a very nice, gentle kid, but you know how to protect yourself, you're much less likely to have an issue. The bully's probably going to go for somebody else, especially if you proved yourself. But so I mean, that's huge. It builds confidence. You can be the quiet kid in the corner, but if you have a lot more experience than anyone else in the classroom, you're probably going to be a lot better off. I think it's huge.
Yes, and my encouragement, especially to the youth or just anyone in general that's being bullied, is figure out, try to remove yourself. Try to say, hey, do I have to be there? Do I have to be around this person? Now it's different if you're in a workplace environment or certain things, because bullying happens. Everyone just thinks, Johnny getting bullied on the schoolyard is the only thing with bullying. But bullying can happen in domestic violence. It can happen in, police brutality. Bullying is all over in all different things. It could happen in a workplace. It can happen in many different forms and varieties, bullying. And, we have to not only address the victims, but we have to address the aggressors as well, because then you just have somebody out here wreaking havoc on the other people. So we have to address both things, that this person is upset, he's causing, danger, he or she is causing danger to others, harm to others, bullying others, and we also have to address the feelings and the emotions and of the victim and what they've had to endure, and hear them out and comfort them and be sympathetic and show empathy and care and give them knowledge of how they can correct it, and how they can trust people if they say something, and where it's not going to just get swept under the rug. Like if something gets mentioned to the police or the school or to the parents, that it's not just going to be like, oh well, they're just kidding, or it's just a joke, because we hear it all the time, and then a kid commits suicide, and suicide grabs everyone's attention, but the actions leading up to it never do. But as soon as you mention somebody committed suicide, everyone wants to run and now they want to do it, but it's too late. Somebody have already lost their life, and one is just too many. So just my encouragement is martial arts, flight over fight. Sometimes just remove yourself instead of getting into an altercation or doing something you're going to regret, or doing something vindictive or spiteful back at them. Just remove yourself. As bodyguards, as some of the most trained people in the security realm, if we're able to remove ourselves and our clients to safety in the most efficient, effective, and safest way possible, then you can too. So we try to put that out to people. If we can do that, then you can do it too. Bodyguarding isn't just about being a lion, an elephant, and destroying everything in your path. Sometimes it's smartest just to remove yourself from that environment, because if there's a big fight, why would you go get involved in that? You would want to exit the facility and get your client to point A or point B safely. So you have to be very smart, very in tune, and just divert the situation. If there's about to be a pile up on the highway, why would you keep going straight? You would divert. So you have to have that mindset.
100%. It's tough though, because sometimes you're in a predicament where you just have to do something. You don't have that opportunity to get away. But when you're representing a client, it's vital that you can do your best to not escalate the situation and just get out of there. What do you think pushes bullies to do what they do?
I think it could be a lot of different things. It could be the environment maybe they grow up in. Maybe they're being abused or bullied at home.
I think that's often what it is, by the way.
Yes, and could be acting out for attention. It could be not knowing how to channel their emotions and frustrations and things of that nature. It could be a variety of different things, but I would say probably the top thing would be them being abused in some aspect, from family, from mom or dad. Could be neglected. They're acting out for attention. Things of that nature, or they're around the wrong crowd, they're around maybe gang members or people that are bullying as well, things of that nature. So it's just, in life, you'll get so far if you just treat people how you want to be treated. It sounds so cliche, but you treat somebody like dirt, it's probably going to come back onto you in karma. So and karma serves no menu. So just do right. And they won't teach us this at Harvard or any fancy university, but life is all about people, and it truly matters how you treat them.
It couldn't be more true. The more I get older, the more I realize that when you play the short game and you just try to get whatever you can get, and you do those things that don't make you happy, you end up with a lot less close relationships. You end up with less ultimately, but if you play the long game, it might be. So a lot of people don't have the patience to do that, so they try to find those quick. That's why people, they'll do crime and they'll try to make fast money, because for them it's like, okay, well, I don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. Let me just try to grab as much as I can now. You lose in the long run. You lose trust. You lose connections. You lose very, very important opportunities, and it's not the way to go. No. So the more you can understand that, the more you can build whatever it is you're looking to build.
Oh yes,
I think it's so important that people understand that. And
it's about longevity, and a legacy and making your impact, not just of your net worth or your title, who you've inspired, what you've given back, and how you uplifted people in this world, and just leaving your ultimate mark, that one day when you're not here, how are your kids remembering you? How the people across the road? How did you come in contact with people and leave them better than you found them? It's so important, and that's really the true tall tale sign of success. Because everybody can get money or get a raise or a promotion, but it takes a really unique person to make that complete difference in this world.
It couldn't be more true. I see you exemplify that like 100%.
Thank
No, 100%. I love this rule though. I love this rule. It's key. It really is.
Yes.
So we covered a lot of topics.
Yes.
I'm really happy about this episode. Is there anything else that we might not have covered, like any other programs or things that you're looking to do?
Just looking forward to the celebrity basketball game again, and again that's going to be in August, and a lot of clients coming up, a lot of events, a lot of happenings. So just definitely stay tuned, and I can be kept in contact with across social media, Bubba Almony. Bubba.
I'll drop all your social media stuff.
And that's mainly it. And again, just thank you so much for bringing me on here. And I'll leave it off with these last few words of encouragement to anyone that will come across it. Whatever your guys' dreams are in life, follow them. Full-heartedly. It's your dream. It's your right. It's your responsibility. Your duty. Your obligation. Nobody else's. You can be mad. You can hate on others. You can want to see normality in people's dreams and visions, or you can get inspired by people and get motivated by them and have that offering of hope that you can do it too. If I can do it, if you can do it, just how you created a podcast and you have a vision, anyone else could do it too. Just how I'm a celebrity bodyguard and I've gone on to win awards bodyguarding. I was honored as the 2020 best celebrity security in Morocco in North Africa. They honored me with that award and placed me on. I've been on numerous magazine covers. I'll also be featured on.
I saw that, by the way.
Yes, the cover of Mr. Hollywood for the month of April. I'll be on that. So just a lot of big honors I've had. I've been in top press, with Influenza and Times of Israel, as you've seen that article, from local news on up, to big news, and just forever grateful, and anything is possible. So whatever your dream is in life, hold on to it, protect it, and never let it go. I remember getting into this field, people there was stereotypes, and there was, even from people in the field above me, there was hatred or lies being spread, and you just have to have tunnel vision. Whatever your focus is, it's like when you're going up top of a mountain, when you're trying to get to the top. Are you going to carry everything up with you? No, you have to get rid of the negativity. You have to get rid of the people that are speaking down on you. If people aren't praying for you, if they don't love you, if they don't care for you, if you tell them, hey, I want to be president one day, and they say you're not going to be that or you can't do that, don't have those people around you.
100%.
You need, whether you tell them the craziest vision, the craziest dream, they need to say, darn right, you're going to go get that. Let's get it done. So you got to have a great people around you, and faith has helped me tremendously. And it's so important. So just again, thank you, and that was my final words of encouragement to everyone.
Dude, thank you.
Yes,
it's
you're
huge.
welcome.
It's huge. Wow, that was intense. I'm just like thinking of the more no's you can say in your life, I think the better your chance you'll have of getting to where you need to be. And
Right,
I've said, I said, this is something I tell myself a lot, but it's hard for people to eliminate things and honestly get rid of certain people. They're very emotional and they're connected to them, but sometimes it's the people who are closest to you that don't want you to succeed because they know you, so they think, more than anyone else.
Right.
And sometimes it's the people you just meet that are all about you getting what you want done.
Oh, yeah.
Because they feel like, oh, well, I know him or her way back in the day, and they're not capable of that. And then when you prove them wrong, they're like, I don't like this new person. This new person is getting things done. They're following their dreams. I'm still in the same predicament I'm in. I don't want that. So I want to bring them back,
Right.
So to speak. They want to hold them back. Sometimes you got to cut them off,
Oh, yeah.
So Gary Vaynerchuk talks about that if you're familiar with him.
Yes.
He's like, sometimes your parents will be the people who are holding you back the most. So thank you so much for coming on again, brother. I really, really appreciate it.
Yes, and lastly, to kind of counter and to coincide with what you're saying as well is, in life, another big misconception is blessings are always what happens to you. So if you win the lottery, or if you get the promotion, or you get the new Lamborghini, or you get the big client or the big account, that's a blessing. But I think in life, and it may seem strange, but when people really let this marinate, they'll say, you know what, he was probably he was pretty, he hit the nail on the head. Is that sometimes what doesn't happen to you, or what you get saved from in life, is even more of a blessing, or just as big as a blessing than something that is given to you. So
a lot of us, we don't realize that. All of us at times don't realize that. It's so true, man. Sometimes you miss that flight. You're like, damn it, but God forbid the whole flight crashed, or a car accident could have happened. Like, so, yeah, a lot of the time you avoided a terrible situation, and you don't see it because it seems like a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so true, man.
Yes.
Okay, this has been another episode of Soothing Semantics. Subscribe, like, share. Adriano, thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
I am very, 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 very appreciative. My pleasure. Okay, that's a wrap, folks.